let me get comfortable. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Diana if you are new here, and if you're not new, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is very exciting. I've had a few people ask me this question before, and I've always found it a little strange because I don't know, it's just like I don't know, it's just, I feel like people expect there to be some sort of guide on how to do it, or like a step-by-step process, and I don't know, I guess there is. Like, when I think about it, when I was planning this video out, I was like, all right, I guess there is like kind of like a process, but I don't know. I just think it's strange how often I get this question, but nonetheless, I get it. It's interesting. I feel like when I look at other people that live in different places, like New York or Bali or something like extravagant, I'm always like, how do you live there? But anyways, today's video is going to be on how I moved to LA as a 20-year-old. I moved here almost 2 years ago. I'm 22 now, and it was pretty awesome, like, not gonna lie. I really wish that I had a YouTube channel back then to record everything and to just have everything like as a memory so I could see how I did it, because as much as I say it's easy to move somewhere, it's definitely something that I'm proud of, especially at such a young age. And I don't know, I think it's an exciting process, so I wanted to kind of share it with you guys. So it's gonna be kind of just like a very chill chat. We're just gonna sit here. I'm gonna share my story on how I moved here, and if you're considering moving to LA, or if you're considering moving somewhere else and it's your first time, maybe you'll get some helpful tips from me. I hope that you do, and I hope that you let me know if you're contemplating moving or considering it, whatever. But anyways, let's get into it. I lived in Seattle, and I had a very good job, a corporate job. I was making, actually I had 3 jobs. So I was working 3 jobs, and one of them was a corporate job. I was making good money. It was just the regular 9 to 5. And then I also worked at a tech startup from home, and that was on weeknights. And then I also worked at a restaurant. And the reason that I worked all of those jobs was because I wanted to move to LA, but like, obviously I don't know if I would have had all of those jobs if my plan was not to move, if that makes sense. But anyways, how it all started was I ended up graduating a tech program that allowed me to get this wonderful tech job that I had, both of the tech jobs that I had. And I was working there, and I was kind of just like bored. Like, I don't know. I was just like, this is it. This is all there is to life. Like, I just wake up every morning, go to the gym, go to work, take a lunch break, get back to work, and go home, watch TV, go to sleep, and repeat. I was not having it. I was not happy. You know, my entire life I wanted to have a grown-up job. I wanted to be an adult, and I wanted just to have that lifestyle. And then once I got it, I was like, no, this is not for me. I do not like this. So I decided that the answer was to move to LA. Basically, California has always been a place that I've always wanted to be at. It was a dream. It was actually a toss-up between California and New York, but New York is extremely far from us, obviously, and I just did not feel like my mom was ready for that. I didn't live with my mom, but I did end up going to her house literally every single day after work because she lived right next to my job. So I would go to her after work and she would always cook me dinner. It was super nice. I loved it. But when I decided to move to LA, or when I decided to move, I was like, all right, we're gonna play it a little bit easy. Instead of New York, we're gonna settle in California first. So I decided that I was going to move, and the reason for that obviously was because I wanted more. I just wasn't happy with where I was at. I wanted better opportunities, I wanted more opportunities, and I wanted more opportunities in the realm of what I was interested in. So I knew that I didn't want to do tech anymore. I wanted to get a different job, but I didn't know what I wanted, and I didn't really even want a job in the first place. Honestly, I've always been very passionate about movies and books and reading and writing, so I knew that I wanted to do something in that realm, and I knew that California was the perfect place for that. And I also knew that it was the perfect place for me to kind of just develop my interests, because I felt so stuck and so like I didn't know what I even wanted in the first place. But California had beaches, and it has Hollywood, and it has just like endless opportunities. Plus, nobody in my family has ever moved to a different state. Like, I mean, like, we have some family members that live in Florida, but I don't know, everybody kind of like, you know, they're born, they go to college, they get married, and they have kids, and they live their life, and that's just kind of how everybody in my family is, and I didn't want that. I wanted something more exciting, so California was the answer. So anyways, so I was working my 3 jobs, and I was actually working as a contractor at one of the jobs. So I decided that I would set myself a goal to move by July 21st to LA, and I had zero knowledge as to like where I would stay, where I would live. I just knew that I wanted to be by the beach, and I've been to California one time, and it was like, I think it was like 9 years ago at this point. It was just a little family vacation. We went to Venice, and we stayed in Torrance, and we went to Disneyland. So I told myself that I was going to live in Venice, just because that was the only area that I knew of. So for 3 months, I worked 24/7. I literally took no days off. I made arrangements, I made plans, I just kind of Googled stuff, and I mean, there's like a few articles online that say like, that explain how other people move to California or whatever. I read a few of those. I watched a few YouTube vlogs of how other girls like move to LA and stuff like that. It's not like anybody has a process or a guide or anything. It's more so of like, hey, we moved to LA and this is where we live kind of stuff, you know? So 3 months, I saved up money. I set a goal to save 10K, and it was, I don't remember the exact day, but like a week or so before July hit, I had around, I want to say 96. So I was like, I think I'm gonna go now, because I found an apartment. So I actually went about this very, I would not recommend this to just anybody. I mean, do you, but just be aware that it's not, you don't get lucky like this all the time. But I was looking at apartments essentially everywhere. I was looking at apartments on Craigslist, on apartments.com, like all of these places. And obviously I knew I couldn't afford my own apartment right now, or right then, but I could rent a room. So I decided I would rent a room. I had like a few very shady phone calls, like extremely shady, obviously. And luckily I was blessed enough to find the perfect apartment in Culver City. And I ended up moving, so it was July 4th, 2018. I woke up at 4 a.m. and I had everything packed the night before. The days I literally started packing like 3 months in advance. What can I say? I was excited. So anyways, so I had everything packed. I woke up, it was super early obviously, and I was so excited. Like you know when you wake up in the morning and you know that something good is going to happen. Like for instance, if you're going on vacation and you have to wake up early, and you wake up super early and you're not even mad about it because you're so excited, like you know that you're getting on a flight to go on your vacation. I felt like that, but amplified, because I knew that I was going to my new home. So I was really, really excited. So the plan was to drive to Portland, meet up with a friend, have some breakfast, and then drive to San Francisco, stay there overnight at an Airbnb, and then drive to LA following morning. I don't have that many like clips or anything, but I'll be sure to include pictures if I can find any. But anyways, so I drove to Portland. I stayed there for like an hour, and then I drove to San Francisco. I stayed, I think it's called Daly City or something like that. I stayed there for one night at my Airbnb. It was driving into California, like I saw the California sign. It was intense. I felt this just like emotion come over me, and I knew that I was doing the right thing. And I can't say that I've had a lot of those feelings before, because I don't know, it's just like you never really know if you're doing the right thing or not. But in that moment, I knew that I was doing the right thing. I knew that I was starting my new life, and I knew that this was like meant to be. I was blessed to be able to do this, and I really felt this like this was the right step. So I got to San Francisco. It was interesting. I didn't really spend that much time there. I think it was 4th of July actually. So there were fireworks everywhere. I went to sleep literally, I think at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. I remember like right before I went to bed, I texted my mom a picture, and I was like, Mom, I made it. Get it? Haha. But anyways, so I went to sleep, could barely sleep because first off I was excited, and second, the fireworks were so loud. But the next morning I woke up super early. I got ready, and then I went and I had breakfast. It was really cute. It was at like a diner or whatever. The weather was really bad, like really bad. It was super gloomy, but I still went to like the beach area that I could find, whatever beach area I could find. And then after that, I headed off to LA. So I had like reservations at a hotel at actually Best Western, the exact same hotel that me and my mom and my cousin stayed at 7 or like 9 years ago now. I just remember that hotel being really nice, and they had free breakfast, so I was like, free food, I'm here for it. So I made reservations there. So I drove straight, actually no, I drove straight to the beach. I went to the beach in Torrance, and like I said, best feeling ever, because that's literally what I wanted. I wanted to see the ocean. I wanted to see the beach. I don't think I mentioned this, but I am like I'm just a beach girl, like through and through. I'm a beach girl. I love the beach. I love hot weather. I love the ocean. I love palm trees. This is partially why I left Washington. I was like, I'm just not here for all this greenery and this so-called beauty that everybody loves. I want sand. I want palm trees. I want hot weather. I want LA. Some of you might be thinking right now why I even contemplated moving to New York if I'm a beach girl. Well, New York is New York, okay? There's no like right answer for that. New York is New York. But anyways, so I ended up staying in Torrance at the beach for a couple of hours. I watched the sunset, and then I drove to Trader Joe's for food. I bought a couple of protein bars and some fruit, some whatever I wanted. It was literally, I was like, oh, I could have whatever I want. It's gonna be so great. I have an excuse to not eat real food. So I got like a ton of snacks. I went to my hotel. They gave me some water and like these 2 chocolate chip cookies, which by the way, so good. But anyways, I stayed at my hotel and I watched, I believe it was Pretty Woman actually. I watched Pretty Woman and then I went to sleep. The next morning I woke up super early. I had their free breakfast and they literally had the exact same thing that they had 9 years ago. I remember when we stayed there, my mom went to the breakfast bar and she made me waffles because they have a waffle machine and this delicious raspberry jam. So I ended up going and I made myself the exact same waffles, but there was no raspberry jam. It was really sad because that jam was so good. But anyways, I had that, I had some coffee, and then it was like 7:30 and I left. I was planning to go to the beach to go for a run, and it was 7:30 in the morning and it was like 74, I want to say like it's close to 80 degrees in the morning. Oh, it was the best feeling ever. I was like, yes, this is what I came here for. I cannot believe it's this early and it's so warm. I don't know, it was like the best. I don't know, even now to this day, and I've lived here for 2 years now, I am just astonished by the weather here, and I'm so grateful and so happy that this is my home. And anytime that I wake up and I step outside and it's warm, I get that same feeling that I had that first time, and it just literally feels like that first day all over again. But anyways, I went to Torrance, I went to the beach for a run. It was great. I just like saw more of California, and after that I actually drove over here to like Venice area and I just kind of explored. But I also had some appointment, or not an appointment, but I had agreed to like meet the guy who was renting the room out of the apartments that I was going to be living in. So we agreed to meet up the next day and he showed me the apartment, and it was actually amazing. Like, it was furnished, it was super nice, like the ideal room for a girl. He had like a big mirror in there, a carpet, like this really nice bed, a dresser, like I don't know, it's just like the perfect room. So we kind of chatted for a while, and there was also another guy that lived in the apartment, but I met him and he was like super nice. So everything went great, and then he just said that he had to like run my credit and all of that stuff, and then he would get back to me. So I was so excited, I was so happy. The apartment was actually like less than 20 minutes from the beach, which was really nice. So I think it was in the afternoon that I had met with him. So I went to Ralph's, which is a grocery store in LA, and I remember watching YouTubers go to Ralph's, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to go to Ralph's, it's gonna be so exciting. And then I went to Ralph's, and now I never shop there, but I remember thinking like, wow, this is so exciting, I'm at Ralph's, like I'm so bougie. But anyways, I got myself some dinner and some snacks yet again, and then I went straight to Venice Beach and I watched the sunset. It was beautiful. And what else happened? And then this was my day 2 in California, by the way. I watched the sunset, and then I was leaving, getting ready to go. It was getting pretty late out, and I noticed that there was like, I don't want to say there was like a fuss, but everybody was like headed somewhere. And I ended up finding out that there was something called First Friday, which in LA they have First Friday in Abbot Kinney in Venice, and basically it's just like this beautiful street of a bunch of food trucks, and like everybody goes there. So I went there and it was insane. It's just like that night was so magical because everybody was out in LA, and I got like my first real like taste of what it looks like and what it seems like and what it sounds like. And there were so many people everywhere, and it's like that street, you literally couldn't walk through it without literally like hugging somebody else. Like there's so many people there, so many food trucks, so many like vegan this, vegan that, gluten-free this, dairy-free ice cream, and I was like, what? This exists? This is insane. But anyways, it was amazing. I ended up staying there for a little while, and then I went back home to my hotel in Torrance. And the next morning, I decided to go back to Venice Beach. I stayed there for a little bit, and then I ended up getting my text message from my roommate. And he told me like my credit went through, everything looked great. And he was like, you can move in on Monday. So I was super excited. I was like, this is insane, like actually insane. Actually on Sunday, so the following day. So it was insane. I was so happy. But yeah, that's literally how it all happened. I ended up moving the next day. First I ended up booking another night at a hotel, and this time I stayed at the Cadillac in Venice, it's literally right on the beach. It's like a pink retro old vintage hotel. It's so chic. I loved it. It was so pricey for what you actually get. There's like no fridge in the room. There's like nothing there. It's just like this old dim room, but like you'd expect to see something like that in like the 50s or something. I don't know, but it's so nice because it was right on the beach. I have like the perfect picture, actually. I'll find it and I'll pop it in here. But I stayed there, and I didn't mention this, but I actually didn't know I didn't know anybody in LA except one person. And I've never met this person before. I found him on Instagram because there was this girl that I followed on YouTube. I watched all of her vlogs, and she was just like a huge inspiration to me. And I followed her on Instagram as well, obviously. So there was one time where she posted like a video, like a story with this guy, and I ended up going on his profile. He had moved to California as well, and I followed him, and he like posted like a story one time. It was a picture of a fruit cake, and I messaged him, like I responded to the story and was like, it's basically a fruit salad, duh. But after that, we ended up talking like a lot, and leading up to my move to LA. So he was the only person that I actually knew in LA, and we became friends, and I met him in person when I got to LA. He ended up, that night that I stayed at the Cadillac Hotel, he ended up coming, like we went to the beach, we like walked around, he showed me this really good donut spot. It was amazing. We ended up going to the rooftop of my hotel, which like had the most magical views of the beach ever. So that was amazing. And that guy actually is Mihai. So we've been dating for 2 years now. So that's how that happened. But yeah, the following morning I packed all my stuff and went to my new apartment and unloaded, made the room mine, and it was amazing. I literally got so blessed with the best roommates. We all became so close. It was really nice, and yeah, now I've been here ever since. I ended up staying there for, I want to say, a year with my roommates, and then maybe a little less. I think it was less. It was definitely less. It was actually like 6 or 7 months. And then I ended up moving to, so I lived in Culver City, and then I moved to Santa Monica with Mihai, and we lived there for a while, and now we live here. And yeah, so that is my how I moved to LA process. So the biggest things that I want to say is, if you want to go somewhere, do it. Like, just do it. Don't think about it. I mean, obviously think about it, but like ask yourself, like, why do you want to move here in the first place? What are the possibilities? What opportunities are you looking for? Are you gonna be provided with those opportunities? When I first moved here, all I had were my savings, and I actually still had a job. I had that small tech job that I had. I barely made money off of it, but it was enough to cover my rent. So I moved here, I had that job, and I had the intention of finding another job. But first, obviously, I wanted to take my time. I wanted to enjoy LA. So I took my time, I did my thing. And then that's like, I feel like that's what you need to do. So save your money. I literally, like I said, I had a goal of 10K. I came close to it, obviously. And then I just did it. It's going to be scary, like regardless of where you go and what you do, it's going to be scary. But you can't let fear stop you from pursuing something good, something positive. Good morning. So it is actually Tuesday morning today. I was editing this video yesterday and I realized that I accidentally deleted the ending of that video because I had it filmed twice. Sorry if it's really loud, I'm on the balcony. But anyways, all I wanted to say is, if you have this innate desire within you to go somewhere or to make a change or to do something different, then go for it. You're young and you have all of these endless opportunities right at this given moment, and instead of waiting or contemplating or trying to think of excuses to not do it, you need to just do it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? You'll have to move back home. Like, it's just, people overcomplicate things so much. That's where I'm going with this. But anyways, I hope you guys got something out of this video. I hope you get some tips, ideas. If you guys have any questions or if you need any advice, feel free to comment down below. And I wanted to say thank you again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. You won't believe what we're about to do, 'cause we're